What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yes, 31 Days of Horror Volume 6, Day 21, coming at you live right now. And we are going to take it back to 2011, and a film that is coming straight out of the UK, released by Mondo Macabro, and it is called The Devil's Business. Yes, kind of an interesting title for Mondo Macabro to release, because if you know anything about Mondo Macabro, they generally release more, you know, kind of retro films, older, obscure things from around the world and stuff. Of course, this is from around the world, but it's more modern, so this was definitely an interesting choice for them to release. But just definitely a film I wanted to revisit. I've seen this movie 3, 4, maybe 5 times in the past over the years, and it's one that I kind of always go back to, it seems like, ever since I picked this one up. So, but yeah. Felt like doing it. Getting into the synopsis of this one. Basically, this one follows 2 hitmen who are hired on by their mob boss to kill this person. No questions asked kind of thing. It's what their job is. They're not really, you know, expected to ask questions, and in this case, they don't either at first. So basically, what it is are 2 main characters. They break into this guy's house and wait for him to come back from his night out to do their job, and of course, they get a little bit more than they bargained for once this guy comes back to the house. So that is basically the premise of the film. Very, very simple premise to a movie. Now my thoughts on this one, it's still an absolute fantastic gem. This movie is just really, really great from the start, man. It instantly has that dreadful feeling right from the start of the movie that never goes away through the entire film. The atmosphere in this movie is second to none. It's incredible. Mixed in with this kind of low tone, rumbling, dreadful score with the beautiful cinematography, amazing lighting. The lighting in this movie is like, it's very Italian influence. It's kind of like, you know, watching a Mario Bava Argento film from back in the day. It's got that type of lighting to the, you know, in this house, in this setting and stuff. So everything kind of mixed together with, like I said, with the beautiful cinematography, the lighting, the, you know, the low rumble score. It just creates this tension and this atmosphere that's second to none. It's really, really damn cool, man. And it's just, that sense of dread is so overpowering in this movie. It's crazy, man. So essentially what we get is we get these 2 characters. It's a small film. And they're waiting for this guy to come home. And it's pretty cool because our main guy, Pinner, he's like the older, more experienced hitman, and he's got this younger guy that's kind of on his first job and stuff like that. And to kill the time, Pinner tells him this story about something that happened in his past. And the story is just phenomenal. It goes on for probably like a good 10-15 minutes. It's crazy. It's an amazing, amazing story. And I will say, man, this movie right here has probably one of the greatest scares I've ever seen in a film, because it gets me every time. I've seen this movie 4 or 5 times, and it literally gets me every single time. Now, I do suggest, if you watch this movie, watch it late at night on a really good system, and crank it up, because when sound effects and certain things hit in this movie, it's very, very effective. The sound mix is fantastic in this, but it's very captivating to watch, because, you know, it's just these 2 guys kind of going back and forth, and they're sitting in this sense of dread, that just atmospheric sense of dread. They're just sitting in this shit, and you're just kind of waiting for things to happen and stuff. And then when things kind of get going, it gets very interesting. It kind of takes, you know, these twists and turns and shit, and you're like, what the fuck? This is like absolutely insane and stuff, which I really do like. I think it's kind of crazy and stuff. It's got some pretty decent blood and gore effects in this and shit. I think it's pretty well done in that aspect too. I think my only gripe with this movie, and it's been like that ever since I first watched this, you know, like I said, I've seen it 4 or 5 times. I think my biggest gripe with the movie is like the very, very end. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's silly or anything. It's very kind of out of left field. I feel like they almost didn't know what to do with what they possibly could have done, if that makes any sense. I don't think by any means it's horrible or anything. I think it's just something that feels a little bit out of place considering what we're dealing with. And I don't want to say a whole lot about the movie and stuff. The title might give a little bit away. I mean, we are dealing with a little bit of black magic and things like that in here, but I think also the director has hinted that the title, The Devil's Business, actually has something to do with the, you know, the Sharon Tate murders. I think it was Tex Man, or what's the guy's name? Anyways, the dude from the murders, the text guy that actually says, I'm the devil, I'm here to do the devil's business. I think that's where the title actually comes from. Because it's kind of, in the same type of realm. You got people in a house waiting to do a murder and things like that. So, but yeah, really, really fantastic stuff. I think our main character, Billy Clark here, who plays Pinner the Older Hitman, does a fantastic job. I mean, tells one of the greatest stories, and his delivery is so, so perfect in this, man. But if you like, you know, very atmospheric, you know, just films that are full of, you know, that sense of dread, you know, this is definitely going to be for you. I think one of the greatest things about this movie, though, too, is it doesn't overstay its welcome whatsoever. It runs about 72 minutes. Like I said, the premise is very, very, you know, it's a small premise. It's all shot in this house and things like that, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. It rips by. The whole movie kind of rips by. It does what it needs to do. It comes in and it gets out, and I really enjoy that, man. Like, he didn't try to do too much, and this is a great example of, you know, low-budget filmmaking that can absolutely look, sound, and work out very perfectly for you. You know, there's a lot of filmmakers out there that, you know, have no budgets and stuff, and the movie just doesn't end up looking or sounding or being even acted like this, you know? But great example of a low-budget film that really does bring the heat, man. Like I said, you know, the sense of dread in this movie is just second to none. It really is atmospheric. But the lighting, if you're into that type of stuff, especially Euro Italian films, it's gonna resemble that a lot. So, but yeah, The Devil's Business. I don't want to say anything else about it without giving anything away, because, you know, again, it's a short movie, and, you know, saying too much might start to get into spoiler territory and shit. So if it sounds interesting to you, I highly, highly recommend this one. 9 out of 10. I love this movie. I think it's really, really great stuff. And I believe this one's still readily available from Mondo Macabre. I don't think it's out of print or anything. Not 100% sure on that, but I think it's still available. But yeah, The Devil's Business, film from the UK. I believe specifically it's an Irish film, I want to say. But yeah, so check that one out. 9 out of 10. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's an amazing film. And that's going to do it for today. So I'll check you guys tomorrow in day 22. And as usual,